welcome, welcome. I am Christy Stampin' Spot. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States. Welcome, welcome. Just checking all my things, making sure I'm live. It is Tuesday, March 3rd. Exciting. Tuesdays are always exciting in Stampin' Up! Because they always have, that's like one of the days when we get new things, and we got new things today. Yay! Okay, so let me check, make sure I'm all live and where I'm supposed to be. And we are going to play with the baby wipe technique. I had done it for a Tuesday technique for my local group in January. So I'm going to show you that, but I'm going to do it a little bit different today. And I'm just going to make a background, which is fun. So let's see. Oh, here I am. Here I am. I can see me live. Let's see if I can hear me. I got to turn the sound up on my so I can hear it. Oh, yep. Awesome sauce. I love it when it actually works. um, yeah. So, like I said, it is March 2nd, I'm sorry, March 3rd, Tuesday. And let me go ahead and turn you guys down. Move this out of the way. Yay! Okay. So I'm going to play with, do some baby wipe technique. And so one of the things that locally we're doing, a friend of mine, a fellow demonstrator, Teresa, is doing from Teresa's Treasure, shout out. So we are doing the Technique Tuesday for our local stamping group. So we have a local stamping group that um, has all types of different stampers. It's not purely Stampin' Up! But last month we used the baby wipe technique. And this is kind of like the little sheet that we did. This is where we make our own ink pad using our refills. So Stampin' Up! Has these fabulous refills so we can re-ink our stamp pads. And so one of the things that you can do is make your own stamp pad with using baby wipes. And that's kind of what we did in the class, and I showed them different ways to do that. This is where we use a stamp to stamp with the different colors. We're going to do a variation of this technique. So this one I actually just, you take the square and you like drag it across the paper. You drag the paper across the ink instead of the baby wipe across the paper. And we're going to do that today, the opposite. And it will get your fingers. I mean, you have to be really careful not to do it. This one is the block. So we just use a regular block. You can use your block on the ink to make something. This is my favorite technique, which is with bubble wrap. I mean, I don't know, you guys, like, I love to use the bubble wrap. This is cling. So, you know, that cling wrap, you just scrunch it up and use it like an ink pad, put it in the baby wipe and then onto your paper like that. And then this is with rubber bands. So if you want to need a fun technique, you just put some rubber bands around one of your clear blocks and use that to make edges. So that's what we did for Technique Tuesday. And I do want to show, we did do the color pigment sprinkles. Stampin' Up! Had a thing called Brusho. I don't know if Brusho still exists as a company. I know like Lind makes them. The pigment sprinkles, so they're just like the color, and you tap it on and then you spritz the water on it to activate it. There's a bunch of different techniques. We did that too. The card that I made, I used like I said, I love the bubble wrap. That's like my favorite. And I did it with the purple. And this is these are like little I used Unity Stamps has some, you can purchase their already printed sentiments. They usually are a little snarky, and then you cut them up. And so I did that, and I just added a little bit of the ink color around it and added that onto here. And then these, if you guys recognize our Demon Hunter, which I thought worked really well with this card. And then I love the little kitty cat and his little pot that he knocks over, if you guys have seen that movie. These are just die cuts from Scrappy Boy stamps. And the Stage Slayers is the name of that set. And then I added a little bit of, what is that called? It's like, oh my goodness. Stickles. So that's a product from Rangers. I do not see what color it is. It's got to be here somewhere on here. I don't know. It looks like it's glitter. I can't tell. You think I'm looking at the bottle, I could tell what it was. Where does it say? It's I'll use it. I think this is just like the clear diamonds one. Illusion. Let's see where it says what color it is, but it's white with sparkles, and that's what I used for this. I really can't see. I wonder if it's these glasses. So I'm wearing my glasses that are the glasses for that's the right thing for to see the computer, but not the right one to see right in front of me. Fine. I can't believe I can't tell what this is. That's so weird. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later. But anyway, it's sparkly. And it takes a long time to dry. Even here in Arizona, it takes a long time to dry. So if you ever use stickles, you need to make sure you can set it aside because, oh my gosh, it takes forever to dry. And I always smear it and get it all over my fingers, but I think it does add a little bit of fun texture. So this is the card that I made when Teresa showed us to do this technique. And with the sprinkles, she did it with the embossed, she clear embossed a butterfly. This is with the salt. This is when you just put it on a block and use a block. You use, this is tape, not rubber bands, which I think is kind of cool. You use the masking tape. And then this is the regular try. And then, of course, the bubble, which I love bubble wrap. Awesome. But that's really messy. So what we're going to do, though, is the baby wipe technique. So the thing with baby wipes is I don't use a lot of baby wipes unless I'm using StazOn, which I rarely use StazOn, but I do use it for this technique when I want to make something like this. You need to make sure they're really juicy. I don't usually wipe my stamps off. I use the chamois instead. Like I cut my chamois, I Stampin' Up! Chamois in half, because sometimes they'll leave fibers on your stamps when you clean them, and then you transfer it to your ink pad. If you do have that, you just need to take one of those limp brushes, the ones that they have like the tearaway piece, just lightly go over the top of your ink pad and throw that away, and you should be able to pick up all of that, the extra fibers, because you don't want to transfer that fiber to your image, right? Because that's why you can never get it, especially with those really bold ones. It's really hard. Okay, so the first thing you have to do after you get your nice damp, right? You need to be nice and juicy. Your baby wipes is to make a super cute. You need to make a little ink pad, and I get about 4. I like 4 is probably a good amount. Ooh, I got 5, so I'll just use the 5. Okay. You don't need a huge amount of. I would say at least 3, 4. 5 is going to be a lot, but I've already pulled it out, so I'm going to use it. Okay. So you want to make an ink pad with it, and because we are going to drag it across, I'm going to try to make it so that it's long ways. I usually do it short ways because I want to be able to hold my baby wipes like this, and I'm just going to run it this way. So you need something to put your pad that you've just made down, and then you're going to add the colors. So these are the water-based colors that we put in. It's the same ink that's in our ink pads. So this one is Gorgeous Grape. So you just need a few drops of each. So there's purple, and I'm going to put them pretty close together. This is Blueberry. That was Gorgeous Grape. This is the Blueberry Bushel. So this is a pretty bright blue. And then this is Granny Apple Green. Okay, and then I've got some Daffodil Delight. You should probably, if you haven't used your ink refills in a while, you probably should shake them. There we go, Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to use some Melon Mambo. Pretty. Oh. Now I didn't put orange in here because, I don't know, orange. I'm just going to use these 5 colors right here that I've done, the 5 colors. Okay. Now, once you've got that on there, and I probably should have made it more in the middle than I did, you need some paper. So these are some already cut pieces. I think this one is actually a smaller piece. I usually do, these are my inside things I've already got for inside. So this is cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I I should probably cut up some bigger pieces, but I just opened up my container and made a huge mess. Da, da, da. So, yeah, so when you do your white, pull out a piece of white. It's regular. And let's make this one 4. Well, actually, let's make it, yeah, let's do 4. Let's do 4 by 5.5, which is like a regular, what I would regularly do. And I'm going to do a couple of the other ones. So the first one you do is probably going to be the most bright, right? And then it'll be less and less as you go, right? Okay, so here's, this one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to use some tape and hold it down onto my glass mat. Okay, so let me move all this out of the way so I can get a really good, you guys can see it really good. Okay, let's start in the middle, but I'm hoping not to have I don't want it to be really, there we go. All right, so this is just gonna hold, I just wanna hold it down. Where is that? It's driving me nuts, okay. I don't wanna put it, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna hold it down. You could also, twirl. This is that scrapbook.com mint tape. I do like the mint tape. But I'm going to use this just to hold my paper. Hold my paper down. Okay, so now I have my ink. So now you're just going to just spread it down. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ah! See, I moved it. And then I guess I can kind of push it down more. Okay, so look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That was just with those colors, right? So you can do that with more. Okay, so all I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to actually put a piece on the bottom. Try to hold it down. Okay, and you just pull it down. You can do it more than once. Oh, isn't that pretty? So it's very bright. The colors I picked were really bright. Look, I pulled the thing off. Okay, when it pulls off, then you can go back and do it again. That is, look at that, isn't that pretty? So you can make all kinds of really lovely, let's get another baby wipe here. Clean my space up a little. All right, these are pretty. So you can do all kinds of pretty backgrounds with this color. Wow, that granny apple green really pops. These are really bright, really bright. Okay, so let me go ahead and set this down. Again, I want to do it with the sticky. I think this one actually might be better if I do it with 2 pieces of the sticky on the back. And I like the mint tape. I use it a lot for usually when I'm die cutting. You can use other stuff on the bottom. Oh, let me pull this up so you guys can see it. There we go. But aren't these pretty? Oh, they're so pretty. Okay. So again, we're just gonna drag it down. Isn't that pretty? Again. Drag it. And see how it's getting a bit lighter? Because we're using so much of the ink up. It's pretty. So that is one of the baby wipe techniques. So then when this is dry, so on this one when we did it, we used watercolor paper. And this is just regular cardstock. I'm Stampin' Up. I just really like the cardstock. But you can use, I have quite a bit. So you can save this if you want to continue to use it, or you can do, like I said, there's other techniques that you can do with it, like with the block. See, I've got a block in there, so you can see how that looks. It gives it a very different type of look, that speckled kind of block look. It's kind of fun for backgrounds. So using baby wipe technique is fun. to do different things. Um, and you can use, as long as you like to play. I did get a little bit on my fingers, so you definitely want to make sure you have a space that's nice. You can keep things nice, but yeah, no, I love it. Okay, so let's see. I think I have a stamp. Let's get, and of course, it works better if you have a stamp that is like, uh, what is one that's full, right? Like, I usually love line art better. Like, line art is my favorite because I love to color with my blends. But you can do use a stamp. And this is one of the sets. What is this one? Petals of Beauty. And it is a two-step stamp set. So it does have like one that's like more, it's like a more full. So if you wanted to, you can see I use that as a stamp pad. Although now it's starting to get too light. So there's not that much ink on there. But you see how pretty? Yeah. So there's all kinds of ways to use this, and then of course you just throw it away. And that's one of the good things about having a. I kind of like that. Isn't that pretty? So it really is. Look at. I almost like it lighter. Let's get another sheet of paper out. So I would just use it and make a bunch, and then once they're dry, you can die cut out of them. Do all kinds of fun things with that, right? It's just like making your own designer series paper that is pretty, right? Like, oh my gosh, I love this. It's very pretty. Just that lighter, it's lighter. Kind of like the lighter. It's better pretty. So, yeah, so you just need to have lots of stuff cut, and you can use it until you're out, right? Like that's kind of the way it works. And again, different types of techniques. You can use, like I said, the bubble wrap, or I don't know what I did with my bubble wrap. There's probably some right around here somewhere. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Oh, just love it. And I'm just using it up, right? Just using up the colors. What is the purple? Oh, no, I just didn't get it as good. And holding it straight. Wow, that red is really. I think I've used all my blue and purple. And then, of course, you can always add more colors. I wasn't going to add more because I didn't want, I'm not sure. And you could try different techniques because you're just using your colors, right? Like whatever you have. And then you can also do it, make it like a plaid. Right? Especially since my red is pretty much what I've got. The Melon Mambo is what's left. That's what's really good. But then I've used up all the color basically on my pad. Like the only thing color left really is the Melon Mambo. So yeah, you can tell I'm really good at making stripes. Not really, but it will look really pretty with when you're done. So and then you just flip it around and look at that. It's all clean. Like I said, if I use this, I want to make sure I use my chamois on a stamp before I add it. So if you have the ink refills, a good, oops, sorry, clank, 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 refills, a good way to use them is to put them on baby wipes. And different colors, I could do different techniques. Isn't that fun? So now let's see. Where are we at time-wise? Because I was trying to do a quick, under 20 minutes. And I need to look and see what it says. I don't know. What time? Oh, 1919. Muy bien. I'm at the end. Okay. So get out those ink refills and some pat and make yourself some pretty. I want to do this to make, I need a new name tag. And so, yay. Love it. Okay. So that is with, like I said, the ink baby wipe technique with your ink refills. There's different ways to do it. Right, I used more. This is Strawberry Slush, Azure Afternoon, and Shaded Spruce. And like I said, for this one, I used Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and Blueberry Bushel, and Gorgeous Grape. right? So depending on what colors you love is what kind of stuff you should use. You put on there. Um, but uh, yeah, awesome. Love, love, love. So that's an easy, fun way to make your own designer series paper, especially if you have like a color challenge and you only need to use a special kind of color. Only a few different colors and you don't have any designer series paper or background paper that you want, you can make your own. So there you go. Let's see. Wrap it up. Just let you guys know we did get new online exclusives did come out today, so make sure you get on and check those out, as well as the new product of the month went live this morning, and it is super cute. I think it's called the Notes of Spring stamp set. And how you qualify for that is that when you purchase $75 worth of product, and that's after you've taken off your bonus. If you have bonus or rewards, you take off. So as long as you have $75 after you've taken off all that, before shipping and handling, you'll qualify to purchase the product of the month for only $5, which is really awesome. And then we did find out today that the paper pumpkin is going to go up in price, starting after this March's kit. But I'm telling you, the March kit is the best kit to get, the one before the March 10th, because it's going to be hummingbirds. Plus, we get 2 different stamp sets. I love paper pumpkin, even though it's going up in price. I think it's definitely still worth it. One of our favorites. It's not going up by a lot, but um, that is one of the things that's happening. And I think I mentioned oh my gosh, it's like next week. I'm going to on stage, where we're going to get to see the new on stage is a demonstrator event where we get together with other demonstrators, and we get it's like our convention, kind of a Stampin' Up convention. Any demonstrator can go, and you pay to go, and you get like stuff. We get to see things new. I just love all the stuff. It's just so much fun, and it's in Long Beach, and so a couple of my friends and I were going to drive out and do that. I'm very excited. So next week, so I will definitely be doing some quick lives at the play. In Long Beach and on the journey why. I mean, now that we only have 30 days, it keeps our stuff up. I definitely am hoping to do a little bit more live so that you guys could have some content. I know that content is also fabulous, but I'm a little over 20, so I wanted to make sure that I came on. And if you need any Stampin' Up stuff and you don't have a demonstrator, please feel free to follow the links to order from me. And as well as let me know if you want a catalog. So this new catalog that we're going to see this next week, we are in that place where we can send them out to you guys through Stampin' Up. And so if you're not a customer and haven't spent $50 with me in the last 6 months, and you'd like me to send you a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, please let me know. I'll definitely have that my email. I'll have that in the comments of this, in the description of this video. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday afternoon. I go Sharks game tonight. Go Sharks. Hockey that I've totally got into now. And happy crafting. Bye, guys.